Hi everyone, this is video response number 7. I'm going to talk a little bit about the problem that I mentioned in my field paper and also sort of came up in my synthesis paper as well, which is that we don't really have a person in our building who is the literacy leader, so to speak. Our coach mainly focuses on math because that's the role that she had previously, and that's what people kind of view her as. And colleagues and other teachers in my building have said to me, in particular, oh, I would never go to her to ask a question about reading or writing. Mostly because I don't think that they think she's interested, or maybe it's more that they don't think that she would be able to help them. That's also a problem with our reading specialists because I don't really feel like anyone is keeping current or doing anything to actively remain knowledgeable about what are new trends in literacy, what are up and coming research practices, who are the current scholars in the field that you should be looking to guide you. Everybody is sort of stuck in this, well, we're going to use this, one intervention that we've been using all along. And then everybody's surprised when, the kids aren't making the progress that they had desired. I talked about in my synthesis paper that with 2 of the kids in my room, we actually decided that they were going to stop going out of the room during reading to get reading support from the reading specialist because they weren't really making any progress and they were never getting any time to read independently. And at the end of, a 6-week trial of them staying in the room and being a part of our reading workshop, they were both reading on grade level and had progressed tremendously because they were getting the time to read and they weren't spending all of their time building fluency with inauthentic passages and read naturally that, is, I don't even know how many years old. They were reading books that they were interested in. So I'm not really sure what exactly should be done about this. I kind of proposed in my synthesis paper that it really should be required that people do outside reading, or that you have to attend a conference or a workshop, in your area, because that's the only way that you're going to find out what's new and innovative and get out of that rut of doing what you've always done before, regardless of how well it works. The problem is that I don't think a district can really mandate that necessarily, especially with contracts, and that, conferences and workshops can sometimes be expensive and people don't want to take that time beyond what they're contractually obligated to give. But I think that's really more the bigger problem. Why don't people want to do that? And, should that be an expectation of any teacher in the building, in particular the coach and reading specialists, or anyone who's considered a literacy leader in the building? So I'm curious to know what people think about that. And this is something, that's been a struggle in my building. And I feel like I'm usually the one bringing forth the information and sharing a new book that I read, or something that I, saw on Twitter, or just even like really minute little things that make me rethink my practices. But I'm just a classroom teacher. I'm not a reading specialist. I'm not a coach. So, it's not really my responsibility to change everybody's minds and make them rethink what they're doing. But at the same time, I think that a disservice is being done to the other teachers in the building and to the students, because I don't understand why people don't want to take any, initiative to learn something new. And I hear a lot that, oh, well, I would like to do that, but I don't have time. So how can we reprioritize? How can we re-examine what we're doing to make that time and make that more of a priority? In my book talk, in the book I read, Creativity Inc., they talked a lot about giving these personal work days to people in the different departments where they had the autonomy to work on a project that they were interested in and try to figure out how that could connect to the work they were doing in whatever movie they were working on at the time. not to say that, you were just working on some totally out there project. It was connected to what you were doing. But, what if we did give in service days where you had that time to kind of plan out what is best for me and what's going to work for my students, and really given that sort of that trust and that autonomy that you're going to use that time wisely. I don't know if there's a real solution to this or if anybody else sees this as a problem or if it's only just in my own building, but it's something that I've thought about not just this year, but in years past. And I really don't know how else to go about solving it. So I'd appreciate any feedback that you have or solutions for me that we could try. And thanks so much.